Prophecy gang, what up? Alright. How are you guys doing? I feel like my voice is a little extra raspy. I don't know. I gotta go do some fucking voice training or something. Bring it back. I smoked too many cigarettes. Alright. So I was thinking, let's do an Age of Aquarius. Let's start the day off with that. What can we expect in this Age of Aquarius prophecy? Alright, Age of Aquarius, what's going on? Okay. So, for these Age of Aquarius ones, these are global, right? So I read these in a way larger scale than how I would for a person. So, when a character shows up, it's typically a group of people or a leader of people, right? What I'm seeing here is the Queen of Wands in reverse. This is somebody who has been very dishonest, probably rose to the top that way. I would say this is a leader. With the Ace of Cups in reverse, I also see that this is somebody who doesn't love themselves, right? They have no self-love. It's like kind of unfortunate in this situation. With the Ten of Cups, it looks like they pretty much have everything, right? Like, you're like, what's fucking new? Some selfish-ass person who doesn't love themselves, they have everything, right? What's new? That's like a tale as old as time, I fucking know. But they have this Ten of Cups because of alliances, alright? And with this Three of Pentacles. Three of Swords in reverse, it's almost like they always choose the winner side. It's like they always want to be on the side of where they're gonna have this Ten of Cups. They make connections based around that. It's like based around what they can gain rather than from like actual connections. You know, it's almost like a networking type thing, but on a really negative scale. Alright, so who is this Queen of Wands in reverse? Who is this person? I want to know. Whoever it is, it's somebody who doesn't stray from a fight. It's almost like they seek it out. They like that shit, right? I almost get like a narcissistic vibe, which actually a lot of politicians fall under the category of narcissists, which is kind of fucking scary and hilarious at the same time. As an empath, I find it very hilarious. I'm like, oh, that's how the world we're built on, where you actually succeed more if you're a piece of shit than if you're a good person. How ass backwards, right? I'm in fucking bizarro land right now. And in their case, it has been pretty fucking true. Like, with this Nine of Pentacles, it's like the worse they are, the more they fucking get. Alright. Well, they're showing up in this reading for a reason. So, what is their agenda? What are they trying to do now? Like, what's going on with this? Dude, I don't know why, but China came to mind immediately. Like, always, like, wanting to be on the side of the winner. Wanting to be on the most financially beneficial side. Historically, divinely feminine, right? Let's see. It just came to me. I don't know. I could be very wrong. With the Hermit in reverse, I do see them kind of coming out of the darkness. Right? This is somebody who doesn't stray from a fight, right? And it's like if they see some shit, going down, it's like, rather than being like, oh, my ally needs help here, or this ally needs help here, or whatever, they're like, they're looking at it like, who can we make the most benefit from? Like, who can we get the most results out of, right? And like, have the most, it's almost parasitic. It's almost parasitic. Like, they leech onto the winner side, right? 10 of Wands, they have a heavy burden themselves. This is coming out with the 10 of Cups, right? So, it's almost like their abundance is their burden. 10-10, endings and new beginnings, right? There's going to be a shift here that happens, and where they realize that their abundance is their burden, right? It's like that, what Stan Lee said, you know, with great power comes great responsibility, right? And I feel like, I mean, they've handled the responsibility, obviously, through lying and cheating and scheming and staying on the side of the winners, you know. They've been able to manage to stay up this far. But 10 of Wands is typically represented by somebody carrying a big, giant thing of wands, right? A big, like, a load of them, and they're huge, and they're, you know, and how are you supposed to travel with all that, right? How are you supposed to move forward when you carry the weight of this huge fucking burden, right? And it's almost like, I don't know, it's interesting. This was the other way. I accidentally flipped it in reverse when I set it down. King of Pentacles, I see them like trying to share the weight of this a little bit. The weight of this decision with another leader. The Blasted Tower in reverse, coming out with the Three of Swords in reverse, they don't want to fucking lose. Alright, they're watching other empires around them fall. And they don't want to fucking lose. Right now they're trying to get into that kingpin energy of how can we stay on top. 7 of Cups. It looks like they're looking at all their different options, different alliances that could be made, different things that would benefit them, right? Because that's really what their biggest ambition is what benefits them. 6 of Pentacles, right? They want that material success. Also, in the 6 of Pentacles, you often see, not in this deck, but you see a hand holding a bunch of pentacles, right? And somebody taking pentacles out of somebody else's hand, right? So I kind of, and it's coming out with this King of Pentacles, right? And it's kind of like they want to find somebody that they can kind of leech off of, right? I told you, it's a little parasitic. They want somebody that they can benefit from. It's like a gold digger, but on a global scale, right? They're like, all right, so what happens with this Queen of Wands in reverse? Because their agenda is not fucking good, right? Let's be real, their agenda is based on the lie that they live. They don't fucking understand reality. They're stuck in corporate world, you know? Yeah, 6 of Wands in reverse, they will not be victorious. The Death card in reverse. Here, let me see. Let's pull these all out. It tells me they won't be victorious and they won't lose. Okay? And the reason why is because though they're willing to come in with this Knight of Swords, it just doesn't fucking happen for them, right? It's like they almost don't get this start. It's like something happens where they get some sort of, with this High Priestess, like, intuition about their situation. They get this intuition and they choose to just kind of sit still. Even though they've been in this mode of like, whose side do we choose? Which side of the fight do we want? And eventually I think that they will just kind of like sit back and just kind of watch things unfold because they don't want to be on the loser side. They're very strategic. Kind of reminds me of the Art of War. Like, where it says the best way to win a war is to not have to fight in one, right? And so, they get this intuition about it. No victory, no defeat. But then why are they showing up? It's like they're just in this pensive decision-making energy, but they don't really do anything. They don't take that action. With that Ace of Swords in reverse, they don't take action. Yeah, King of Cups in reverse. Somebody who was like an ally to them before gets really fucking impatient with them, right? Because they feel like they're not supporting them. With the Six of Cups in reverse, Temperance in reverse, and King of Cups in reverse, it's like they just don't feel like somebody who previously had this alliance with them. It's like they fall out of that. They're like, bro, where the fuck were you? I waited on you. Like, I thought we had a deal. And then they were like, well, you know, you kind of look like you were losing, and just kind of wanted to sit back and just see what happened. You know, like, you know, we didn't want to get our hands dirty if you were just gonna lose anyway. It's like, what are alliances for, really? Economic benefit. That's what they're for. They're not actually real. There's, like, we could have an alliance with fucking Germany, right? And then the second Germany is like, you know what, maybe we should do Holocaust number 3, you know, or whatever, you know. And then they, actually, there's been several Holocaust situations in, like, world history ever. But, yeah, basically, you know, it would be kind of like, not, like, making an alliance so that you have, like, this mutually beneficial thing. And then, like, one of the parties of the alliance is like, you know what, I'm gonna go do some impulsive ass shit. And they're gonna have my back. We're allies. They totally have our back. And then they do the impulsive ass shit, and then they realize, oh wait, they don't actually have my back. Where the fuck are they? We've been calling and we're left on red for every text. Like, we're reaching fucking voicemail. Like, what's going on? We, like, dug this ditch and now we've fallen in it. You know, kind of energy. And it's like this other energy is like, but dude, we have so fucking much to lose, you know? And it's like, we don't want to end up in your situation where the whole world binds up against us. You know? They're like, we just gonna sit still. We're not fucking doing this, right? It's actually a really wise move. I would say this person is excellent at chess. I would say that they're excellent at chess. Especially with this High Priestess. Their intuition is off the chain. It's like Napoleon Bonaparte. Like, how he just fucking knew, like, which moves to make and, you know, where things were headed. Like, I would say this person almost knows too fucking much about war to continue this alliance, right? They want to help those that they know are going to be the most financially beneficial for them, right? If this alliance that they had is, one, not beneficial to them, and two, they're like, that's not our fight. You went and you started a fight. Like, you went and did your fucking shit. Like, what do you fucking want from us? You didn't talk to us first. You didn't say, hey, we're gonna do this hostile takeover. Are you down? You know, like, they're just like, bro. Yeah, Four of Wands in reverse. They don't want to work with them. They don't want to participate. They don't want their empire to fall. Like, they're watching others fall right now. They're just like, oh, I see you. See what you're doing. It's kind of fucking hilarious. It's kind of hilarious. It's like, and I think that's kind of why they're showing up as a Queen of Wands in reverse as the liar, right? Because they're like, yeah, dude, we totally got your back. We totally have you. Like, you know, we'll be a great alliance. Like, America fucks up, we got this. You know, but then it's like it wasn't America that fucked up, right? It was their alliance, and now they're like, oh, maybe we need to reconsider. So they stay in this position of non-movement, right? They stay in this position of waiting. It's like feeling out the waters. Like they're like, all right, the tide's coming in. Maybe we wait until the tide is going out, and then we make a decision. And it's almost like by the time they get to their decision making, it's gonna be said and done. Hence, no victory and no defeat. It's like they're just gonna sit on this idea for a while. They're like, it's too fucking much. Like, they have too much to lose. They have too much to lose. They've like really substantially built themselves up from shit, and they're like, dude, at this point, like, they're just over it. Right? They're like yeah, Princess of Wands in reverse, they're like, we're not that little fucking immature energy anymore, right? And then the Emperor comes up. I kind of want to clarify the Emperor. Who's this Emperor? Okay, so we have the Emperor with the Four of Pentacles, a very powerful leader, right? Very fucking powerful leader. Something that is very fucking stable, something that has a lot of resources, right? That's where power comes from, having the resources. Look, there's a fucking bee here, and I'm saying queen bee, right? Or king bee, you know, king queen bee. But it's like, I feel like this is another energy just showing up. What's their agenda? What are they doing? The Empress and the Emperor show up. With the Nine of Swords in reverse, I like this. Okay. So, they're looking at the other side, right? They're looking at the people that... Okay, so say we were talking about how they, you know, they had an ally, that they're sitting on this idea, right? Well, from the opposite perspective, right, of this, the people that they don't have, like, I don't want to say it like that, because it's not even like that. It's like the other people on the other side of this, okay? On the other side of this conflict that they're not going to participate in, right? The other people, it's like they have a lot of fucking resources, right? They have a lot of allies. They've got a lot of power, right? And they don't bring, like, despair and cruelty, right? Nine of Swords in reverse. They're like, we're not here to bring the fucking sword. We're here to bring change. We want something different. And I think that this energy, this Queen of Wands in reverse, is looking at that. And they're like, dude, they've got the Emperor and the Empress on that side, okay? And they're very powerful. They have a lot. They have a lot of resources, right? They want to be on that side of where the resources are because they understand economics, right? Nine of Swords in reverse, they also see this energy as being fair, right? As being very grounded. And it's almost like they're looking at it from the other perspective where they're like, you know, maybe I don't want to rise up against these people, right? Maybe I don't want to rise up against this side. Like, you know, they're like, there's a lot of resources there. There's a lot of power there. And it's like, if they turn against them, then they're like, oh, that's not going to look great for us, you know? And it's kind of like they don't want to be the Nazis in this story, right? and the injustice. They're like really trying hard to not do like Japan did in World War II, you know. They're really trying to, you know, be fair and be conscientious of their own resources and their own people and their own situation, right? And they're the people who want their alliance, who are like, where the fuck are you? They're like, oh, look at them, full of shit. I thought that they'd have our backs, but it's like, dude, you did not get attacked. You did the attacking, okay? So why should I have your back in this, okay? It's like, if my friend goes out, like, say if I go with my friend to a bar or something, and my friend starts a bar fight with somebody that I'm like, dude, that person will definitely whoop both of our asses. Like, do I need to go and fight too? Like, you started that shit. You're the one. You threw fisticuffs. I don't know. You know, like, that's your fight. You have fun with it. And it's kind of like that energy. Like, they just don't want to be fucking caught in the middle of it. They're just like, they're trying to be as fair as possible, even though like they're being looked at as like traitors or whatever. It's like they're like, dude, I'm not being a traitor to my own people. Okay, that's the difference here. Is I'm not being a traitor to all that I've established here. We're not changing shit up in that way, right? They're like, I am not going to be on the bad side of this. That's smart. That's a smart move. Business and personal. It's a smart move. So, yeah, dude, I feel like this terrorist who wants all these alliances, it's like everybody in the world is looking at them like, you ain't classy though. You know? At least America bombed themselves first before trying to have a hostile takeover. Learn from history. Fuck. I'm just kidding. But yeah, Knight of Cups in reverse tells me this energy just doesn't want to come through for the other side. Or, you know, they don't want to come through and fight. Right? They don't want to establish any, like, new alliances. It's like they don't want to jump on one side or the other, right? They're just kind of like, can we just mind our own business? Can we just stay right here? Is that allowed? Like, do we have to get into this if everybody else is? Like, it looks like you guys have plenty. Like, you have plenty of people doing the thing. Like, why do I need to be involved? And I really fucking love this, because it's like the injustice of one person, right, or one group, has created this unity of like everybody around them, right? And it's kind of beautiful how unifying this is, as unfortunate as the situation is. But I mean, obviously terrorists always lose, right? Americans have learned that. Terrorists always lose. You terrorize your own fucking people, guess what? Your own people will terrorize the fuck out of you, right? And I feel like this energy is just like, there are certain lines I don't want to cross right now. And you know what? It reminds me of that quote from Mulan, where the emperor is standing there and the Huns are there and they're like, bow before me, da, da, da. And then the emperor looks at the Hun, and he's like way tiny. He's like standing there looking like an emperor, but like next to this giant fucking warrior, right? And the warrior's like, bow, and he's just like, no matter how hard the wind howls, a mountain will never kneel to it. You know, and it's like, boom, like I'm seeing that energy. They're kind of like, yeah, talk your shit. Do what you gotta do. Like, be mad at us. You're not fucking bringing this mountain down, okay? You're just not. You're not swaying them. There's no... It's almost like they don't have enough resources or enough anything to offer them in order for them to actually work on their behalf. Okay? That's the hilarious thing. It's almost like if they had more resources, if they were more wealthy, if they had more power, then they might actually do it. But they're looking at who actually is holding power and resources right now. And they're like, it ain't you, man. It ain't you. And, you know, business is business, man. You know? Oh, fuck. That's intense. That's intense. You know what, though? Kudos on them. As much as I don't like money and resources being like I don't like greed running the show. In this case, it's almost like for the better that it has. You know? Yeah, Five of Cups in reverse. They don't want to lose anything. They don't want to waste resources. They don't want to waste valuable things, right? Eight of Pentacles in reverse. They're not going to work with this energy, right? Because they see that energy as something that doesn't learn or grow. With the Hierophant in reverse, they're like, you don't learn, you don't grow, you haven't progressed, you're still stuck in fucking 1782, like, grow the fuck up, right? They're almost like, they're like, what are you doing? You could have just been fine. Your empire would have been fine, and then you had to go and do some dumb shit like this. So they're judging. They're hella judging. And who isn't, right? Who isn't at this point? Who isn't judging the situation for what it is? That's like a whole fucking thing, guys. Yeah, dude, it's a lot. This is just a lot. It's you know what, though? It's great news for everybody else. Man. It would be like Draco Malfoy trying to, like, start a war against Harry Potter. You know? Like, okay, you can try. Eventually, like, you're gonna learn. It's, yeah. Eventually Hermione's gonna punch you in the face, you know? It's like, dude, freaking, I don't know. War is dumb, and I think everybody's kind of, like, collectively on this level of understanding that, especially after the COVID lockdowns. We're like, dude, we're actually more powerful and more beneficial to each other, to our communities, to everything when we're not fighting. It's actually more, prosperous for us as a whole, you know, not even just like one country or another, or, you know, it's like everybody as a whole benefits from, like, collectively growing together and working together to grow shit. Kind of reminds me of when Athens introduced like wages, right? People working for wages, and the whole idea was fucking beautiful. I mean, now it's kind of a shitty idea because now everyone's stuck in slavery, but originally it was a great idea, right? Just like all great ideas. It was, you know, to them, they were like, people need to be able to profit from what they can offer the world, right? And so they wanted people to be able to benefit from making art, from philosophizing, from, like, doing all kinds of things, like the liberal arts, if you will. Like, they wanted to see sculptors thriving. They wanted to see, you know, because that shit was important. They wanted to see musicians thriving. Like, they wanted entertainment. They wanted, you know, all this, right? And they're like, so if we set, like, a wage where people can work at the skill that they can bring to the table, right? The thing that they are the best at, right? And then we just pay them for it, and then they build a livelihood around that, you know, because not everybody wants to go fishing and hunting and gathering and agriculturing, and it's like, well, you know, I like farming, and I also like art, so if I could, you know, if I can farm and stuff, and then, like, I sell, you know, my produce to the market, you know, people take the food, and then I can go and buy art with that money, and then, like, you know, and it really, the whole idea was that other things were more valuable than money, right? And money was just kind of there as a trading thing for valuable things, right? That's where people fucked it up, because instead of seeing the resource as value, they started seeing the paper as value, or the coins, you know? They started seeing money as valuable, which it's not. It's not. that buys valuable things, right? So, and like, you know, through everything, it all got fucking skewed and fucked up and whatever. But this is like, this is pretty fucking cool energy. You know, it's like, I feel like we're kind of getting back to that in some senses, where we're understanding, like, having $1 billion in your bank account, right, is not going to be more valuable than having a farm should Wall Street collapse, right? We saw that with the Depression, the Great Depression. People walking around buckets of fucking money. Useless fucking, or no, that was after World War One, was it? Maybe it was the Great Depression. Maybe it was, because, yeah, there's like pictures of people, buckets of fucking money. It's useless. Absolutely useless. The factories, they could have been using them, but no, because the system collapsed, nobody could work in them. And, you know, going back to ancient Athens, right, where they developed this idea, it was never meant to be like a huge mass production of things. People were supposed to produce their goods as they could and sell their goods for their livelihood, you know? And those goods were meant to help benefit other people's livelihoods. You know, it was meant to be a whole fucking thing. And it's like, some shit got skewed, man. Humans decided that they had ideas, right? And it's like, here's the thing about, like, bringing in things like that is, like, with capitalism. Excellent plan. I actually love capitalism. I think it's great. I think we should all have the potential to rise up as far as we fucking want. Sky's the limit. That's the libertarian part of me. I'm like, dude, we should be able to, you know? I mean, if we can make millions and millions of dollars for our employers and only see ashes of it, like a fraction of whatever they make, like a barely anything out of what they actually make from our work, you know, then why not invest that in yourself, right? Why not try to invest in yourself and start producing for yourself, you know? Like, I think local businesses are where it's at. I think the idea of corporations kind of fucks up local businesses in some aspects, because it takes away the need, you know, for that. And I hella want to bring that shit back. You know, I want to bring back the need, because it's just so much. You know, it's like, I mean, for myself, okay, I like to get all my supplies for whatever I'm doing locally. Like, if I want to get honey or, like, say, beeswax to make candles or salves or whatever, I'm gonna find my local honey lady. I'm not gonna go to fucking Trader Joe's or whatever, you know, other place and buy that. I'm gonna go find the lady who lives a few blocks away, who, you know, has some kids in her house and need to feed them, you know? And the same with, like, Bryson, my, the guy who does my merch. Like, he's local, and I would much rather see his family fed and happy and going on vacations and all that, because I was able to help them, you know, with, you know, because to me that's more valuable than going to some fucking corporation that's like, yeah, we'll print your shit, dime a dozen, da 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 da. And it's like, dude, that's not valuable to me. It has no value, right? The thing that's valuable to me is seeing the smile on Bryson's family's faces, honestly. Like, they're so fucking awesome. Like, his wife, his kids, they're all awesome. And it's like when we support local businesses, we support people like that. You know, we support real families. And I worked for so many local businesses. Like Adams Rib Smokehouse. Like, literally, when Mike and Katrina started their business, which a lot of you are probably like, who's Mike and Katrina? Whatever, I'm saying their names. But when they started Adams Rib Smokehouse, it was literally a wing and a prayer. Okay, they had like 3 kids. They were in this tiny little place. They were like kind of like, we gotta take this leap of faith and just do it, or, you know, or just get stuck in the system doing the same stupid systemic shit. And now, not only do they have like 2 restaurants, or 2 or 3, I don't know, they have 2 restaurants themselves, and then their son has 2 restaurants himself, and then their other son is taking over one of their restaurants. Their daughter is a fucking baker who also like supplies their restaurants. It's like, dude, when you get into these local businesses and you see these families that are coming from fucking nothing and just trying to rise up, that's the beauty of capitalism. That's where it's fucking awesome. Not when it's crony capitalism and it's just the fucking corporations that succeed, you know, because they were able to sell out to whoever, you know. I hate sellouts, right? I hate people who have to cheat to get to the top. It's like, dude, there is a system in place. And I don't like rules. I'm an Aquarian. I do not like rules. But this, I'm like, there should be fucking fairness in it. There should be an ability for people to get out of the fucking dumps. If you're stuck in a rut, like, you know, like, I grew up in the fucking projects, dude. It was hard. Like, fucking growing up in the housing projects, you learn a different side of life. You learn that, like, you're either stuck systemically or you get to make a decision and you get to use all of your fucking grit to get the fuck out of there, right? Even Elon Musk was sleeping in his own office trying to make his dreams come true. You know, it's like, sometimes we gotta sacrifice some shit to make shit happen. Like, J.K. Rowling, she was like on welfare when she started her dream, when she was like not making it, and then because she had a beautiful fucking story in her mind that the world needed. We needed that shit. Okay, I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I don't care about your judgments about her. Whatever. Like, brass tacks, bottom line, we needed that story. I needed that story. I have a whole tattoo about it, okay? I can't unread Harry Potter because people have opinions about her. I will not, I've read too much of her work to actually believe that she's a bigot or a fascist or whatever. She may say things, you know, whatever, but like the core of everything I've read from her, I'm like, your soul is speaking different things right now. You know, she's being enculturated, you know. I ain't even gonna go down that road. But just thinking about like how she like started from ground zero, having fucking nothing, and then boom, explosion of Harry Potter. And dude, I shit you not, like that shit helped me. And it's just art, right? It's just art. Where's the value in art in this big corporate fucking system, right? It's not valuable to these big corporate systems. It's valuable to the little fucking witch kid who's growing up, raised by Christians who are like, what are you doing? I'm like, making potions. You know, like, and like, I mean, my family told me I wasn't allowed to read Harry Potter, because there was witches and spells and demons and and you know, and they were just so misinformed on what it was all really, you know, on what it really is, on what magic really is. And magic is not evil, you know, and most witches that I know, like, don't tap into the dark side of that shit. They want to help people with their abilities. They don't want to hinder people. They don't want to curse and hex everybody, right? That's a stigma that I think was placed on us to burn us, you know, because men were like, why are they so sexy? They're witches. We gotta burn them. You know, it's like, dude, yes, we're sexy because we're witches, but also don't burn us. Ouch. But, I mean, you know what I mean, though. It's like where I needed that art growing up. You know, that was more valuable to me than money. And that, I think, happened on a large scale with her stories. And I think being able to do what you're passionate about, put into the world what the world needs from you, because everybody has something that the world needs from you. Like, and I know, like, a lot of people are like, fuck the world. You know, no, not really. Don't be like that towards the world, because you're part of it. You know, when people are like, I hate people, I'm like, you are people. What do you mean? You're talking to a lot of people right now. It's like when people are like, I hate women, but they're surrounded by women. It's like, how? Okay, goodbye. Like, you know, it's just, it's ridiculous. I don't understand the concept of hate at all. Like, I just don't. I'm like, maybe I see everything from too many sides. I'm like, maybe I'm seeing everything from a larger perspective, and it just makes it so fucking hard to hate. You know, even people who have fucked up terribly. I'm like, you know what? That's a good fucking lesson for you, isn't it? You know, and I just get on with my life. I just, and if energies don't match up with me, cool, whatever. I don't need to judge them because they don't match up for my life, you know? And I feel like that aspect of me is so inhuman, right? Because humans are so quick to hate. And I'm like, how do you guys keep confusing me with a fucking human? We are not the same. But, yeah, dude, it's like, I got so fucking far in that tangent. I don't even remember why I got that far into that tangent. You know what? Maybe I should let this reading be done then. I'm just gonna sit here and talk to you guys about politics and economics and art, you know. But I mean, honestly, support your local businesses, right? If you have a choice between fucking Walmart and local, choose local. If you have a choice between Amazon and Etsy, choose Etsy. You know, choose real people making real shit that aren't stuck in fucking sweatshops. You know, that aren't, like, think about the energy of the things you're getting too, right? Because energy is in everything. So if somebody's making something in the energy of suffering and misery and discontent, guess what? That energy is coming right into your fucking home, bro. That's coming right into your home. But if you, like, go to a local person who's passionate about what they do, they love doing it, you know, I'm like, I'm not gonna go get Texas toast anywhere but at Adam's Ribs. You know, they put love and cheese in that shit. Love and cheese. That's what I need. And it's like, I just see that local is so much better. I've also seen the dark side of local businesses, right? Where sometimes the local business owner has that corporate mindset and they just look at everyone like they're a dollar sign. So pay attention to the business themselves, you know? But, you know, support people. Support people. If you have ideas, if you want to invest in things or whatever, support people. Because the more you help others, the more help comes to you when you need it. You know? And it's the energy of the universe. It's you throw out good, good's coming back into you. You help another family prosper, your family is more likely to prosper. You know, you got neighbors. It's like in the Bible, it says your neighbor was there, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember exactly the scripture, but it says your neighbor is there to protect you. Or, you know, kind of. I mean, you're there to protect your neighbor, and your neighbor is there to protect you. That's why you live in such close proximity. Do not make an enemy of your neighbor. Love your neighbor. Love your enemies. Right? When people want to hate on you, be like, you know what, I ain't got time for that. I love you anyway, so fuck off. You know? And, you know, that's where that love thy neighbor comes from. Like, people kind of, you know, only take that love thy neighbor, but they don't see why we love our neighbor. Because, like, if, like, in my neighborhood, if somebody were to break in my house, my neighbors would be on that shit, right? If somebody is, like, doing sketchy things around my house or whatever, or somebody, like, sketchy parks in my driveway while I'm gone, my neighbor's like, hey bro, did you know, like, who is that? That was kind of weird, you know? And it's like, your neighbors protect you, bro. They've got your back, you know? And you run out of fucking sugar and you're like, bro, I need coffee right now. Like, guess what? Your neighbor's got your fucking back. Like, I mean, when I needed weed even one day, my neighbor's like, hey, you want to come smoke? I'm like, yeah. Yes, I do, actually. You know, even on the small scale, they help save us from the mundane, from the bullshit, the bullshittery. You know, that's like, I love people. And the more we put in the energy of loving people and, you know, really being there for each other, the more we're going to experience that in our own lives. But being so, like, self-deprecating and hating everybody and being angsty, that's just outdated as fuck, and it's not cute. It's not cute. Nobody likes negativity or toxicity. So let's wash that shit away. You know? Let's wash that shit away. Go take a salt bath. Go pray to your gods. I don't give a fuck how you do it. Just do it. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna shut up now. I love you guys. Namaste. I will talk to you later.